Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I want to highlight a couple of things in today's video. I have yet to talk about Shenmue 3's exclusivity deal on PC, and I don't know how that hasn't become a thing, so I want to talk about that. But before that, Gabe Newell also spoke a little bit on exclusivity in the gaming industry in an email answer to a user that is making the rounds on the internet right now, and it gives us a lot of insight into Gabe Newell's thinking in regards to exclusives. So I'll look at what he said, but nonetheless, we'll talk that at the end of this video. First up, exclusivity is a big thing, not only in PC gaming, but gaming in general. All of these different publishers and companies are trying to acquire studios and releasing games on their own platform. Of course, it's very relevant in the PC sector because of the Epic Game Store, and Epic is getting a lot of exclusivity agreements. And it's just a big talking point, and we'll get to Shenmue 3 in a second, but someone emailed Gabe Newell, and Gabe Newell actually responded. It said, quote, "Hi, Mr. Newell, I don't know if you heard about Oculus trying to buy itself exclusively into Serious Sam, but did Valve ever get or consider to acquire any exclusivity for the Vive?" Now, of course, this is in regards to a virtual reality. However, I think the premise of the response that Newell offers kind of goes hand in hand with exclusivity agreements in general, so let's take a look at that. He said, quote, "We don't think exclusives are a good idea for customers or developers. There's a separate issue, which is risk. On any given project, you need to think about how much risk to take on. There are a lot of different forms of risk: financial risk, design risk, schedule risk, organizational risk, IP risk, etc. A lot of the interesting VR work is being done by new developers. That is a triple risk whammy, a new developer creating new game mechanics on a new platform. We're in a much better position to absorb financial risk than a new VR developer, so we are happy to offset that, giving developers development funds, essentially prepaid Steam revenue. However, there are no strings attached to these funds. They can develop for the Rift or PlayStation VR or whatever the developer thinks are the right target VR systems. Our hope is that by providing that funding, that developers will be less likely to take on deals that require them to be exclusive." Makes sense. That is probably the most PR-friendly response that I could think of, in the sense that people are gonna look at this response and be like, holy crap, Gabe Newell is a good guy. He is offering resources, financial resources, to these smaller studios in order to create their games, but he's asking for nothing in return. All he's asking is, hey, get the game out, release it on Steam, and then in the future, if you do want to release it on other platforms, knock yourself out. That is a great way to go about things. Now, that is not financially, reasonable for everybody to do. Gabe Newell and Valve have more finances than most, so obviously it's good at surface, but I can't expect every studio to be doing something like that. I can't expect a Sony to fund the development of a first-party game and then in turn be like, okay, you can release that game on Xbox One, you can release that game on the Nintendo Switch, and you can release an even better version than our version that we're getting on consoles on PC. You really can't expect to do that, but in the case of Gabe Newell, maybe it's just a good gesture, and it kind of points towards his rationale when it comes to exclusivity agreements, which is great. It seems like based on this, he is more so against it, and that's why that notion of a lot of people asking, why doesn't Valve throw a lot of money at these publishers and developers to acquire these games? Well, I think the issue in that sense is it sets a really bad precedent going forward, because then every publisher is going to expect that inherent investment from Valve when they can't offer it to absolutely everyone. They're offering it to a lot of these new studios creating these VR games. That's one thing, but then opening that floodgates to absolutely everyone, that would be a little bit more difficult. Epic is trying to get something off the ground, and they can take a loss up front. They're probably not making a profit after they take the front end of the brunt acquiring a deal like they have with Borderlands 3. Are they really going to be making a sizable profit? Maybe they make a little bit of a profit. I don't know. I don't have the financial details. However, you would have to think that to get that game exclusive for a time period, it would be a big seven-figure deal, and let's be real, Borderlands 3 on the Epic Game Store, it'll probably sell decently well, but are they going to recoup all of those costs given that that 88-12 split is still going to stay intact? Who knows on that front? When assessing that, there are so many variables, and considering we don't have the financial details, I really can't go too in deep on that. What we do know is Valve is really against the idea of exclusives. They're going to help development studios out in creating their games, and if that 70-30 split is a little bit higher than maybe it should be, maybe they make their money back that way. Although the real validity of that 70-30 split is something that's argued upon a lot, but I won't get into that right now. What I will get into is Shenmue 3, because this is something that is so unfortunate. I don't know how Epic Games keeps on thinking that getting exclusivity agreements like this is a good idea, because it just paints you as, again, being that villain in the PC gaming industry. It's one thing if you want to facilitate the creation of new games, and you want to fund, say, first-party creations or acquire studios and then release them exclusively on the Epic Game Store. It's another when you take games inherently promoted on Steam and then you're taking it one level higher when it's a game that was promoted and it was crowdfunded and the studio was promising Steam keys, and then you're coming in and being like, oh, we're gonna offer you all this money, just make this game an Epic exclusive now. That is just so bad, and we've seen that happen a couple of times. Now Shenmue 3, the developers behind that, have come out and said an update on PC version rewards. They noted regarding the recently announced Epic Game Store exclusive, all of us here at Usenet, Deep Silver, and Epic are taking the matter with utmost concern and would like to clarify the circumstances leading to the decision and offer backers and options for moving forward. As noted in the updates and survey at launch, we had originally planned for PC distribution through Steam, taking publishing and sales considerations into account. Usenet and Deep Silver agreed to our partnership with Epic Game Store on PC version distribution. As a publishing partner, Deep Silver has greatly contributed not only to sales and marketing, but to scaling up the game so there is more Shenmue 3 to begin with. Also, Epic Games has been with us from the start of the project when we adopted Unreal Engine 4 for development and have given us their support throughout the development process. In response to backers who have requested Steam keys for their rewards, we discussed offering the keys on the day of release. However, coordination with the sales policies of the involved companies was untenable, and as a result, we were not able to make a day one distribution option for Steam keys available. That we are not able to offer Steam keys for Kickstarter rewards at the time of the game's release is a great disappointment and inconvenience for those backers who were expecting to receive them. We deeply apologize for the unrest caused by the announcement. The team is going to offer the following: version availability. There's going to be a PC physical package that's going to be the disc and an EGS key. You can get PC digital and EGS key, a PlayStation 4 physical copy, or a PlayStation 4 digital PSN voucher key. Now, you won't get a Steam key. That is just impossible at this point, which is such a bummer. People crowdfunded this game with the inherent thought that, yes, I could get this game on Steam and on PC. You can't go back and then stab gamers in the back and be like, oh, now we have this exclusivity agreement. A big reason you have that exclusivity agreement is because you were able to take the resources that consumers gave you and you were able to create this quality product, and now Epic Games looks at that quality product, or let's say it's a quality product, whatever the case may be, the product that you have created with the resources that a lot of the crowd gave you, and now you're going behind the back of backers and agreeing upon this deal that is now going to offer you a lot more additional resources. It's just a messed up situation all around. I get that Deep Silver has a lot of publishing rights here, but man, oh man, I just do not like seeing stuff like this. It is just a gigantic bummer. This is something that has to stop. If Epic Games wants to do exclusive agreements, that's one thing. I know a lot of you guys are against that, as am I myself. However, they cannot be getting exclusivity agreements with games that are promoted on Steam like The Outer Worlds. You can't be doing stuff like that. And in the case of Shenmue 3 and games that were crowdfunded, that is just so much worse. And you can't be doing stuff like that. That is just a gigantic bummer, and hopefully we'll see all of this remedied. Hopefully at some point Shenmue 3 also does drop on Steam, but as far as launch day goes, it's not going to be available on Steam, even though it was promoted with the intent of being a Steam release, and people backed the game with the idea of it being a Steam release. So that is just a gigantic bummer, and stuff like this has to end. I'm a little late in talking about Shenmue 3, but I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys knew how I felt about it. They were saying that they were trying to remedy the issue for a while, but hey, all you can get as far as a PC version goes is an EGS key, or you can get a full refund. So I imagine a lot of people will be getting refunds, and it's just a crappy situation all around. So that's going to conclude this video, guys. Again, I think Gabe Newell painted a really great picture in terms of what to expect out of exclusivity from Valve, or lack thereof. They're gonna fund a lot of development in terms of VR games, but they're not looking to pigeonhole games into their own platform unless it's a game that was released by them. In that case, I don't really have a big problem, and even then, we've seen a lot of Valve games be released on consoles as well, so I don't think that's a big deal. And in the case of Shenmue 3, it's just a crappy situation all around, and I think the majority of you guys would agree with me on that. That's gonna conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.